The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has announced a travel ban affecting all would-be travelers to the holy cities of Mecca and Medina. The temporary measure has been put in place to prevent the arrival as well as the spread of the coronavirus. Now, President of the South African Hajj and Umrah Council, Shaheen Esop, says that this is unfortunate for those who want to attend, but says it's a good measure to curb the virus.
I think it's important that people understand that the Saudi Arabian government has done exactly the right thing to prevent any further spread of coronavirus, whether it be in Saudi Arabia or outside of Saudi Arabia. The holy cities of Mecca and Medina are but a cauldron, from around the world, people from Southeast Asia, Asia itself, Europe, Americas, Africa, all basically converging on those parts of, on Mecca and Medina to perform the minor pilgrimage, which is known as Umrah. And this particular minor pilgrimage, Umrah, has now been suspended temporarily as a result of concerns about the spreading of the coronavirus should any infected persons come into Mecca and Medina and then go back to their countries of origin. So that in itself is one of the biggest deterrents and the biggest reasons why this whole process has been put into place from that perspective. Secondly, I think, when you look at the extent to which this happens, from South Africa annually, approximately 30 to 35,000 people perform the minor pilgrimage, which is open 9 months of the year, excluding the pilgrimage season for the main Hajj season, which starts this year around about the middle of June and goes on to sort of the first week of August. That particular pilgrimage has not been suspended or has not been spoken about at this particular point in time. So for all intents and purposes, we need to understand that this is only specific to the Umrah pilgrimage, which is the minor pilgrimage that is currently on the go.
South African Muslims who were booked to travel to the kingdom are now scrambling to cancel their plans. Now, to get a sense of how the virus has impacted would-be pilgrims, President of the South African Hajj and Umrah Council, Shaheen Esop, says there is unfortunately no alternative not to attend the ceremony. However, those who have spent on trying to attend can follow necessary processes to be refunded.
There is only, one place where one can perform Umrah, and that is in Mecca al-Mukarramah, which is the holiest city, in the lives of a Muslim. The Kaaba, to which, all Muslims from around the world would basically face in their 5 daily prayers, is where the circumambulation around the Kaaba takes place during the Umrah ritual as well. And as a result of that, you cannot do this outside of the country or outside of that city. It is imperative for people who wishes to go and engage in the minor pilgrimage to be present in that particular area. This is basically instruction from God Almighty, and as a result of that, I do believe that people need to understand that, unlike other religions where there is no ritual in one specific place at one point in time, this is very unique in its, in its obligation. Umrah is basically not obligatory as is Hajj. Hajj being one of the 5 pillars of Islam, Umrah, as I said, was a lesser pilgrimage with certain rituals of Hajj not included in that particular process. And as a result of it, it is, as much as it's obligatory once you are there, it is also an optional, journey to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to perform Umrah. But Hajj in itself is obligatory, and that is a totally separate matter. So for Umrah at this point in time, people can delay it, or people can wait for a year or so if this is the case in point. But right now, it is temporary. We wait for news from the authorities in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and inshallah, God willing, things will sort itself out, and all the necessary precautions will be put into place, and as a result of which, it is imperative that, people will then follow suit. One of the developments that has come out over the weekend is that the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah has basically indicated any person who has already obtained a visa to travel and is now affected by this ban can contact their operator in their respective country in order to find a refund for the visa fees and other service fees that have basically been charged to them. So this is very important news for those people who are left wanting and who are left out of pocket as a result of this. The country has come forward and said that they will do the necessary refunds. There is a process, and people need to basically just follow that process.